Last time we took a tour in Kingdom Hearts 1. In this episode of the Grand Tour, we will deep dive into the next chapter, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. After closing Kingdom Hearts, the Kingdom Party was set on its way to find Riku and King Mickey. They were trapped in the realm of darkness, but Sora didn't want to give up on finding his friend and the king. They've been walking this road for a while when they encountered Pluto with a letter in his mouth, stamped with the king's seal. Every lead was worth following, so they ran after Pluto. But come midnight, a man in a black hood appeared, who led the party in the direction of a castle. The castle gave the party a feeling that their friends are here, and the man stated that Sora is trying to find something. But in order to find it, he must lose something dear to him. To lose and claim anew, or claim anew only to lose. When Sora, Donald and Goofy make their way up, they encounter the man in the black hood again, alongside someone else, a man with fiery red hair. He introduced himself as Axel and tested Sora's strength right there. Sora needed to be strong enough to beat Castle Oblivion. Axel says that our most precious memories lie so deep inside our hearts that they're out of reach, so Sora must reach deep inside his heart to find what he's forgot. Goofy mentions that they had encountered another castle before, with contraptions and whatnot, but Sora and Donald cannot recall this. This was the effect what the man in the black hood was talking about. In this place, to find is to lose, and to lose is to find. Meaning that if you dig deep to find forgotten memories, your existing memories will be lost. But Goofy didn't give up, and he tries to remember it. It's the place where Sora sacrificed himself for Kairi. How could he forget? Then Sora remembered the event, but not the place. That actually happened in a castle? So they really are starting to lose their memories. So while the gang ascends the castle, they test themselves on each floor, trying to recollect their memories, why they're here for example, to look for Riku and King Mickey. Sora even brought up the good luck charm that Kairi made him. He cannot forget Kairi as long as he cherishes this item, nor has promised to return it. But while remembering Kairi, he was starting to remember another girl, a blonde girl. But Sora couldn't for the life of his remember who she is. Instead of trying to remember his existing memories, he kept on trying to remember this other girl. Then suddenly, Sora remembered that on the islands there was another girl besides Riku and Kairi. He started to remember her while traversing the castle. While they're continuing their ascension, Sora remembers more and more stuff about her, like how she was always drawing, and how Sora had promised to protect her no matter what. But then one day she was gone, and that's why he slowly forgot. Meanwhile, Axel is still keeping his eyes on Sora from another part in the castle, along with this girl called Larxene and another man named Vexen. Larxene wants to test Sora by herself, but Vexen, on the other hand, is working on an experiment. They know Sora is a special boy, because when he turned into a Heartless in Hollow Bastion, he kept his feelings and his bonds to the light, the whole reason why the Keyblade chose him. And to this day, only one other man had been able to do just that, become a Heartless without losing their heart. The three of them are all wearing the same cloak as a black-hooded man. Apparently they are from a secret organization, and are present in the castle for a specific purpose. The purpose of testing Sora's strength. But some of them also have another agenda. Larxene and the black-hooded man seem to be wanting to overthrow the organization at some point, and Axel is aware of this. But he's acting as a double agent. It's not Axel's wish to overthrow the organization, but report back to their superior, who does. Anyway, Larxene wishes to test Sora further and confronts him. She urges Sora to look deep inside his heart to find true memories. Then Sora found a good luck charm in his pocket that he forgot he had, and a name was coming back to him. Namine, the blonde girl from the islands. He forgot all about her, and now she's here inside the castle, taken by the organization. Sora now only has one goal in mind, to find Namine and protect her, so they can't ascend the castle quick enough. But on another floor, instead of finding Namine, Sora encountered Riku. He asks Sora if he's glad to see him or if Sora's already forgotten about Riku, because now Sora's mind is clouded by Namine. But Riku says both him and Namine are sick of Sora because of what happened on the islands way back when. Riku got really upset and it looked as though he was being controlled by Ansem again. But Riku ran away before Sora got around to correct his mind. Running after Riku, Sora got stopped by Vexen. He wanted Sora to thank him for his reunion with Riku. It was Vexen who brought him here, and then Vexen offered Sora memories from the other side of his heart. These memories bring them to a town called Twilight Town, and it seems familiar, but they haven't been there before. Vexen then asks Sora what is more real, the memory of Namine or of this place? Because if he doesn't realize which memories come from the heart, Sora would really have a problem. Vexen says Sora will become as twisted as Riku if he continues to search for Namine, but his speech is stopped abruptly by Axel. Axel says he's come to end Vexen before he talks too much, and with a flick of his fingers, boom, Vexen vaporized. The mysterious black-hooded man appeared to be a man named Marluxia. He's the leader of the organization members that have been sent to Castle Oblivion. He had ordered Axel to eliminate the traitor, that so-called traitor being Vexen. And that was the reason why Axel killed Vexen. Vexen wasn't actually a traitor though. He was still loyal to the actual organization goals. That's why he was trying to tell Sora the truth. In reality, Marluxia was plotting to overthrow the organization along with Larxene. And Axel had the job to figure out who the true traitors are, so he obeyed Marluxia to gain his trust. The next step of the traitors is to break Sora's heart using Namine. Meanwhile, Sora kept on ascending the castle floors and encountered Riku once more. With Vexen gone, he could be free. But Riku doesn't care. He wants to be the one to save Namine because he made a promise to her on the island to protect her no matter what. And it seemed that the two of them shared the same memories about the girl, and Riku didn't understand. And then Larxene came into the picture and she broke the two of them up. Larxene began to make the picture clear. She explains that Sora hasn't been fighting with the real Riku, but a replica of his. Vexen had been working on an experiment and made a puppet that looks like Riku. To fill this puppet with life, they used Namine. Namine is a witch in control of Sora's heart. She can manipulate Sora's memories, making him forget memories, create new ones for him to think of. She puts memories like this inside Riku's replica. That's why Riku thought Sora was lying. His memories were real, but he himself was not. And that was the whole truth. Riku a replica, and Namine a witch in control of Sora's memories. Although Sora's memories are fake, his promise to Namine felt real enough to keep it, so he gathered his strength and ended Larxene's existence. Marluxia had taken Namine captive again, so Sora needed to beat him too, to fulfill his promise to Namine of course. Again, with his strength of heart and the power of his friends, Sora beat Marluxia and gained access to the top floor of Castle Oblivion. Namine explains that she can revert the damage done, but it will take a while. Sora needs to hibernate for a long time together with Donald and Goofy, as Sora's chain of memories affect them and everyone around him too. Before it happens, they make a note in their journal to thank Namine when they wake. So the Kingdom Party went into their shells to sleep and regain their memories. Sora closed his eyes and saw it all come back to him. Riku was asleep in the place between light and dark. It was Ansem's voice who told him that he wasn't strong enough to overcome the darkness. After closing Kingdom Hearts, Riku came drifting here, alone, without Mickey. So Riku sets off to find out the truth and King Mickey. Riku got transported to Castle Oblivion too, but in a whole different region of where Sora stranded. He encountered Ansem here, who commands Riku to once again give in to the darkness and obey his commands. But Mickey's light found Riku, so light can still protect him, even from Ansem's darkness. But still, Ansem tempered the darkness within his heart. But Mickey will not give up on Riku and will do everything he can to find and save Riku from the darkness. Now Riku needs to descend the castle to find out the truth. And it is in this area of the castle more members of the organization await him. These members are Lexaeus, Zexion, and Vexen too. It appears Zexion has the ability to sense Riku but picks up two sets of sense, one belonging to Maleficent and one of their superior. But he acknowledges it is Riku. The fact that Riku was able to be transported to Castle Oblivion in the first place is because he resonates with another hero in the castle, being Sora. The organization members also began to realize that Marluxia is going behind their backs and want to steal Sora. The true purpose of the organization is to subdue Sora into joining their ranks. This is the sole purpose of them being here. But Vexen thinks a hero of darkness is more fitting for their plan. As Vexen samples Riku's strength and talents, he gathers data for his invaluable replica experiment. While Riku descends the castle further and further, he eventually encounters his replica and engages in battle. This replica is taunting Riku to give into the darkness as it makes you stronger, just like Ansem would. Ansem was pushing Riku to be more like the replica, to accept the darkness as he does. And as the organization members are still figuring out how to get Sora on their side, Lexus says that it might be wise to get Riku to accept the darkness and use him instead of Sora should plan A fail. So Lexus confronts Riku and beats him. But before admitting defeat, Riku gave himself up to the darkness and vanquished Lexus then and there. Before he vanished, Lexus muttered, "He truly is the superiors," that this was a fight he shouldn't have picked. Riku uses this darkness to take care of Zexion as well. Zexion tried to put an end to Riku as he wasn't necessary anymore. But Riku had become too powerful after accepting the darkness. Though it wasn't Riku who put an end to Zexion, Replica Riku did. Axel put him up to it because Axel too wants Zexion out of the way. Although Zexion wasn't a traitor, he found out way too much about Axel. When Riku continued his descent, Mickey found his way to Riku in person. Not long after, Riku also made contact with another person called Diz. He tells Riku where to go as he had been doing it since the beginning. He impersonated himself as Ansem, but Riku knew he wasn't Ansem, because his scent wasn't as foul as the true darkness. Diz instructs Riku to find Naminé, and so he does. Naminé told Riku she could lock away the darkness within his heart with her powers, so Ansem couldn't take over even if he wanted to. But he then has to sleep just like Sora is doing. But Riku wants to do this on his own and face Ansem to conquer the darkness. Before he does, Diz once more speaks to Riku and gives him a black cloak and explains it is because of these cloaks the organization would not be devoured by darkness. And they wouldn't be able to find him as a cloak renders their senses useless. After this, Riku goes on, confronts Ansem and puts an end to his claim on Riku's heart, but Ansem promises he would return one day, just before he vanishes. Riku and Mickey are then able to exit the castle, and on this path, he encounters Diz once more at a crossroads. Diz proposes Riku should make a choice. Riku should choose between the road to light or the road to darkness, but Riku chooses neither. He chooses the road to dawn. There you have it, folks. This was a grand tour of Chain of Memories. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button, comment for some feedback or even for a nice chat, and subscribe for more of the Grand Tour and other content. And I'll catch you in the next.